Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a reading for the collective, all signs, and I wanted to do a special reading today regarding the energies around the solar eclipse that we are experiencing at the moment. It seems to be sending a lot of people into what I can only describe as a kind of tailspin. And I wanted to provide some channeled messages and some guidance from Spirit regarding these energies, because I don't think everything has to be, thank you Spirit, I don't think everything has to be catastrophic. I think we can be hopeful. I think we can be wise about our decision making. I think we can be informed as to what challenges we may face. So I'm going to pull one overall energy from the Wild Unknown Alchemy deck, and I'm going to read from the book as well at the end. And I'm going to be doing your tarot reading with the Pulp Tarot, because it's probably the most outrageous tarot deck that I have, which I enjoy. So collective, I hope that you all are doing well and staying grounded and centering yourself, meditating. Well, Spirit might have other plans about what this message is going to be about. Volte faciam, the despicable face. Fascinating. The despicable face. What's the first thing? I don't really see a face at all in this imagery, and perhaps that is the point, that fear often doesn't have a face, does it? It's just a feeling. This fear of the unknown. We can put a face to it, but until we're actually confronted with the problem, it becomes, it remains only something that is within our minds. And it's almost as if your imagination is what creates this despicable face. Your imagination, your fear is what generates the thing to be afraid of. You know, it's kind of like saying, it's kind of like when you read a book and the characters are so much richer inside your mind, and then when you see the movie adaptation, it's woefully lacking in that depth. It will never be as good as it is in your head, and because that's how powerful our minds are. So I'm gonna pull 3 cards for the base spread, 3 cards for clarifier. Challenges, opportunities, advice from Spirit. So let's go. Challenges, opportunities, advice from Spirit for the collective, please. Three more for the clarifier. Wow. Collective, you're getting a lot of divinely guided energies. 2 extra cards came out. Lots of major arcana. For, you know, I don't have a whole bunch of cards on the table, but it's a lot of major arcana. I'm going to show you the 2 extra cards that came out. The King of Wands and the Page of Wands in the reverse. So let's start with this one. The King of Wands talks about somebody who is motivated, to say the least. It's not even underscoring the power of the King of Wands. He divine masculine, but doesn't have to be a man, but I'm going to refer to him in the divine masculine. He is really powerful, and his power comes from knowing the direction that he wants to move into. He's very sure of himself. This could be describing a woman as well, or somebody that does not identify as a man. It doesn't matter. It's the energy. We see here in this card, it's like burning everything to the ground. And all of a sudden, Spirit just gave me the image of Heath Ledger as the Joker in the Batman movie. And I can't remember all the titles of the Batman movie, so I'm just going to call it the Batman movie with Heath Ledger. There's that movie is tremendously violent, and there's a scene where Heath Ledger walks away from a building that he has done some things to. And that, I don't know why, but in a way, this doesn't represent your energy collective. It represents, it's almost like society outside of you. That perhaps you feel as though there's kind of this overwhelming power that has such an impact on your daily life, that has the power to really destroy the root of who it is that you are. The Page of Wands in reverse, this is the energy I actually see you embodying, that there's this inability to, at least in this time period, there's an inability to take a step forward. Because it's almost, let's say it's not society, right? Anything like that, the government. It's just competition, maybe. Like, is there enough room in the world for me to exist besides an energy like this? Like, how could I even compare? How do I even measure up? And Spirit kind of wants me to say, why are you comparing, or why are you feeling like you have to measure up to that energy? You're feeling hesitant about it now, that's for sure. So the challenge is position two really beautiful major arcana cards in the upright, but this is the challenge: the Star and the Chariot card. Aquarius energy, Cancer energy. The Star talks about wish fulfillment and healing. It can talk about stardom and being in the public eye. Chariot card is about victory, moving forward quickly, having a balance between the light and the dark of who you are, right? Your light aspects, your shadow aspects. This is the challenge right now. Like, if this came out in any other context, I'd be like, can I have these two cards? They're amazing. But right now they present obstacles. They're obstacles to you. So funny, because my image is reversed in the camera and it just says rats. To me, it just looks like a backwards R and it's rats. Like, I feel FOMO. I want to say FOMO, like fear of missing out. There's something here where you haven't taken a step forward towards something and you just feel like it's not the right timing, or you don't have what it takes. You know, this kind of indescribable fear, perhaps, or this just nebulous energy that we can't pin down. And therefore, there's no movement forward, there's no victory, there's no sense of accomplishment. This is the challenge. What is this in reference to, Spirit? What is this in reference to? The Fool, another major arcana, the Fool and the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Again, that's not wanting to take that step forward. The Fool is major arcana number 0. Talks about taking a leap of faith, believing that you will be guided and caught by Spirit, that the leap of faith itself is the adventure, is the courage. But the Queen of Pentacles in reverse here, maybe you don't feel like you have enough finances, you don't have enough talent, you don't have what it takes to move past this period in your life. I mean, with that King of Wands, when I was describing it as an energy outside of you, again, who are you comparing yourself to? I just saw somebody say, like, my sibling, my brother, my sister, like, you might be comparing yourself to your siblings. Just take it as it resonates. There's some of you out there, whoever's watching this, if it resonates with you, you'll know who it is. But it's kind of like keeping up with the Joneses. I just heard that, like trying to fit in. There's this fitting in energy. There's this, like, I want to be a part of something. I want to be a part of that crowd. Yeah, you know, this is Five of Cups is towards the end of your reading. I just wanted to skip ahead a little bit because I was like, I feel 5 energy, this in between, right? So I think the biggest challenge at this time, because what do eclipses do? They usher in new. They kind of force the situation. It's like a portal opening. What are you letting in, and what is being let out or escaping, or, you know, being lost? And I think it's kind of, it behooves us, it is to our advantage that we get ahead of the game in terms of our progress. Like, you don't want to wait at this time. You don't want to wait for opportunities to fall into your lap. You want to dive headfirst into the adventure. In the next column, it was challenges, and then it was opportunities. The Strength card and the Hierophant, again, 2 major arcanas. Hierophant number 5, Taurus energy, Strength, Leo. This talks about discipline very clearly to me. The Hierophant is essentially the Pope of the Tarot. That's what they call it, the Pope of the Tarot. They're a person who is the conduit, or the liaison between the material world and the divine. So this could be somebody that it could be an actual person that you greatly admire, trust, respect, a spiritual teacher, religious leader, a guru, a shaman, a very wise friend, but somebody who themselves has a lot of discipline, who lives by codes of conduct and expects others to live by codes of conduct. Strangely, a Hierophant can also represent governmental bodies. I just heard quality control. Never really said that for the Hierophant, but I just heard it very clearly ringing in my ears, quality control. And the Strength card talks about a mastery over the ego. You can see here, you know, her best friend is this roaring lion. She is cool as a cucumber. She's unafraid. She's mastered the ego. She's mastered the fear of the unknown. So put these two things together, and I see a person that is very disciplined, very guided, directed, self-directed, not procrastinating, taking incremental steps. You know, because if you can't race towards the finish line, maybe it's, you know, Spirit is pointing out, well, you absolutely have the ability to walk there. I just felt a tinge of impatience on somebody's part. Like, somebody's just like, I don't want to wait. I don't want to, why do I have to have patience about it? I get a clarifier for these two cards. Opportunities, please, Spirit. Oh, wow. Another major arcana. Maybe because I'm reading for the collective, I don't ever get this many in one reading. Very rarely. the Judgment card in the reverse. The Judgment card, in this particular depiction of the Judgment card, it's kind of rising from the dead, bringing something from the past, or revisitation from something of the past, or something that was left behind. Typically, the Judgment card talks about making a judgment call towards your life's path. That, are you answering a call of spirit? Are you reaching out? It's a very creepy card. But you got this card in the reverse. Sometimes when I see the Judgment card in reverse, it's almost as if you feel like you don't have any choices. It's almost like the opportunities here are, like, if you want to, okay, you gotta know the rules to break the rules. You gotta know the rules to break the rules. It's almost like understanding how the Matrix works, just like Neo did in the movie. Understanding it inherently, how the Matrix works, so you can bend and break the rules, so you can create the world as you see fit, your world. Very powerful. Brings up manifestation, inner guidance, inner intuition, magician, high priestess energy, which I don't see here, but they might as well show up with all the other major arcanas in your reading. But there's something here where you just feel like my options are limited. But that's okay, because right now this is just a space of learning. This is just a space of understanding what it is that's actually going on, what you're actually dealing with. Spirit's advice is, don't be lured in by distraction. Seven of Cups is all about choices, but to a certain extent, they're distractions, they're diversions in this reading. You can see how everything has a different, like a wreath, a starlet, there's like a castle there, a dragon, right? So it's like the Swami, I can tell your future, I can tell your future. This is Spirit's advice. Don't get it twisted. It just, don't be confused. You have to be clear, right? Because right now you're manifesting or trying to manifest from a space of lack. The Five of Cups talks about, thank you, Spirit, looking at the glass half empty. This calls for a change of your perspective, to be more, quite frankly, optimistic about things, to have hope. Not a misguided hope, but to believe that you have enough power to change your circumstances, to achieve this level of stardom, of wish fulfillment and healing, right? To have your new beginning and your victory. Right? These are all in the challenge position. It could be difficult for you right now, but Spirit is saying, bup, bup, bup. That's like, they wanted me to say, bup, 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 I see you. Just feel this for a moment. Allow the feeling to happen, and then allow it to pass. We've got work to do. We've got work to do. We're learning right now. There's so much to learn, Spirit just said. Can I have a clarifier on this Seven of Cups in reverse? Ten of Swords in reverse. All during this solar eclipse, there's gonna be Ten of Swords talks about a leveling. Like we're on the ground. And the Ten of Swords in the upright in a reading would suggest, okay, we're moving through these 10 swords and we're going to go back to the Ace of Swords, where we have clarity, where we have insight and epiphany. But when the 10 of Swords is in reverse, it's like you're still holding on to the pain. You're still holding, and so Spirit is saying this eclipse is it's gonna make you deal with it. But like, you know what I see? I see somebody going like this. It's like there's something attached to you and you're just trying to fling it off. This is this energy. I just want to fling it off. Like, you don't belong to me anymore. I don't even want this. That's what I see. I just want to do this. Like, get off of me. It's a burden. It's not the 10 of Wands, which is burden, but it's the 10 of Swords, which is just like burden inside your brain. I don't like to see this card in reverse, only because it means that, you know, I'm part of the collective too. So it just means that, like, yeah, there's going to be a reckoning. The Spirit's advice, though, is just lean into it. Just lean right into it. Allow it to happen. Allow the purging to happen, right? When we don't feel well and things start to regurgitate, allow it to happen. You don't want it to, you know, now I'm seeing, I've been seeing these videos on TikTok about, like, people talking about cortisol levels. Cortisol is the stress hormone, I think. It's a hormone? The stress hormone. I'm just going to call it a hormone. Cortisol is, and stress is like the #1 killer, right? Because stress inflicts every organ in our bodies. And they're showing me that right now. It's just like, purge all of that. It doesn't really, say it out loud. That stress and worry and fear doesn't belong to me anymore. I don't claim that in any way. Like, really, truly say it to yourself. So I'm going to read from the book for the Despicable Face, and we'll see what Spirit has to say through this card. XLO. All right. The Despicable Face. What is hidden, unaccepted, shamed? The despicable face is never seen. Rather, it is kept in hiding to save outward appearances. This card appears when something below the surface wants to be witnessed in order to be transformed. Everyone has their own version of the despicable face and their own reasons for assuming it is an abomination. It could be a buried resentment, an insecurity, or a physical characteristic that holds us back from expressing our true self. Remarkably, once revealed, it is not despicable at all. It is human. It is interesting. What once was thought of as an error becomes an asset on our journey of alchemical transformation. This card connects us to others and to humanity as a whole. Through acceptance, we lift the veil of perfection and reclaim our energy. Honesty and acceptance are the balm that heals the most tender of wounds. When the card appears, it is important to notice what company surrounds you. Those who can see and accept all sides of who you are. Those who can accept and see all sides of you are true alchemical allies. This card may indicate fear of failure. Some are so afraid to make a mess that they never cook. They never cook up anything in the laboratory. Just try. The mess is alchemy underway. The mess is alchemy underway. That's kind of a weird sentence. Sorry, I don't have my reading glasses on, so I was a little stuttery there. Right, so, I mean, I don't have any of these cards memorized. I very rarely use this deck, but it doesn't take a lot to understand that unseen fear, right? That's this card. Spirit was right on the money. Release all of this, right? Just flick it off. It doesn't belong to you, and you don't claim it. And you know what? Let's burn some Palo Santo, because I'm gonna claim that for you. I'm gonna claim it on the behalf of your best and highest good, and only with your permission. So if I have your permission, please say it out loud to yourself. Honey, you have my permission. If not, then this is not for you. If I have your permission, Spirit, please release any and all burdens and baggage from the collective that may be holding them back, that may be keeping them rooted in fear or traumatizing them in any way. We release that. We bring it to the surface. We heal from it. We acknowledge it. We acknowledge our imperfection and our beautiful humanness for our best and highest good. Thank you, Spirit. That's your reading. Collective. Take care. Be kind to yourself and to one another. If this reading resonated, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you.